Greetings. So, if you've ever seen a girl or a group of girls that you wanted to go up and meet and talk to, I'm going to share with you right now something that I learned and discovered and was able to put into use to get the confidence, the feeling to walk up to a group of girls or a girl and start a conversation with her. And I want to teach you this, and I want you to learn it. And then once you understand this, you can start to make your own openers and conversation starters. This is great for having something to say when you just need something to say. And when it comes to openers, just walking up to someone and saying hello can actually really work. It all really depends on your state, the way you feel on the inside. Some people describe it as confidence, and maybe it is, but you've just got to be feeling well. So your whole life should be structured in such a way that it makes you just naturally be feeling good. Okay, so that's what I want to get you to, is to feel really good all the time, because when you do, then approaching women is not going to be a mystery. You're going to know how to do it, and how to do it is just feel good. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Feel really good, and then approaching women won't be a challenge. If you do feel good but you feel shy, try this out. This worked for me, it's worked for a lot of my students, and although I no longer teach guys how to, or I haven't for many years been teaching guys how to meet women and start conversations, this is what works, and I just want to share it. So, you want to walk up to the girl and you want to say something like this. Oh, excuse me for interrupting you like this. I was just wondering if I could ask you a quick question. Do you think in this country, in this day and age, a guy should still hold the door open for a girl on a date? Or do you think it's kind of like old-fashioned and uncool? I'll let you know why I'm asking in a second. Okay, so that's basically it. And there are so many different versions of this opener, but similar, okay? So practice it. Get the mannerisms right. And what this opener does is it grabs the woman's attention, okay? And she like really zooms in on your question, and she forgets. Honestly, this is what my experience has been. She will forget that you're a totally random guy just walking up and chatting to her. Okay, so excuse me, can I ask you a quick question? Yeah, do you think in this country, in this day and age, that a guy should still hold the door open for a girl on a date, or do you think it's kind of old-fashioned and uncool? I'll tell you why I'm asking in a second. Okay, I've delivered it slightly differently than the first time, but you get the gist of the thing. And when you say, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? Yeah. So you're not actually waiting for her response. You're not waiting for her to go, do I mind? No, you're going to ask the question anyway. Try it out, and I think you'll be blown away at the response you get. Do you think in this country, in this day and age, a guy should still hold the door open for a girl on a date? Or do you think it's kind of like uncool and like, I don't know, I'll tell you why I'm asking in a second. Okay, the girls are going to smile. The first thing they usually do is they're going to smile, right? It usually works better with more girls. Approaching two or more girls is usually easier because the girls are going to feel more comfortable and relaxed as there's two of them, and they'll look at each other and they'll smile and laugh. So they're going to smile and they'll give you their opinions. Their opinions will probably be like, yeah, no, I think it's great. I'm all for chivalry. And you can say, okay, that's interesting. Well, the reason I'm asking is a friend of mine has recently got back into dating, and he took this girl out on a date to restaurant X, Okay, if you know of a good restaurant, a posh or expensive restaurant in the area, like I mean, I don't like to be deceiving, but honestly, it does kind of help. So if you say like he went to this L'Atelier de Joel Robuchon, which is a Michelin star restaurant in Covent Garden. So you say he went to this restaurant, and so what it's telling the girl is that you have friends who go to these type of places. This is what they call a DHV, a demonstration of high value. Okay, so while you're there, subconsciously and consciously, she's trying to size you up. She's trying to work out who this guy is, where he stands in the pecking order of society. Is he high up, middle, or like is he like low down? Right. So by saying that your friend went to this expensive restaurant, she's going to be like, okay, this guy's, he's probably he's up there somewhere. Okay. And when he got to the door, he held the door open for this girl, and she kind of stood there, and like she walked like a little bit forward, then she kind of stopped and hesitated, and like looked at him, and he was like held the door open, and he said, go on through, and he just felt like it was awkward, and so yeah, I just wanted to find out. Okay, at this point, you need to find something to transition onto, okay? Because you've approached them for a reason, and having a reason is always good when you approach. I mean, if you can have a reason other than you think they're attractive and you wanted to meet them, it helps a lot. So now you're kind of going to be grasping at straws unless you've done this a lot of times and you know that you need to transition, okay? So one transition is accents. Have they got accents? Where are they from? Are they from the area that you're in? You can be like, that's interesting you say that. But you guys are not from around here. So maybe it's different from where you come from. And if it's in London, chances are that they could be from Sweden, Switzerland, Poland, Russia, whatever. And you can transition, okay? Then what's really good is if you can communicate to them that there is a similarity between you and them. So you're kind of saying like, we're the same, okay? Because people like people who are like themselves. So, for example, let's say she's from Switzerland. You can say, oh, Switzerland, that's really cool. Actually, I've just got back from Switzerland. Well, not got back. It was about 2 months ago, not recent, but... and I was blown away by the mountains, by the people, whatever the case may be. What you're trying to do is build a similarity with her, okay? And if you know which city she's from, oh, like I know Geneva so well. Oh, I love that little park, and there's that little cafe. You know that cafe on the edge of the river. You've been there, awesome. Okay, having the same experiences, it's great. It kind of brings you together. It shows that you're not completely different and completely like dislocated, and so while you're talking, you want to start to learn to find information from her that'll enable you to show that actually you're not so different, okay? And this is building rapport. Now I could show you body language sort of things. Generally, it's good to have your hands in front like this. Try not to speak or approach a woman with hands in pockets. Okay, that's a bad idea. And if possible, if you approach sideways, I mean, not like completely sideways, but while you're talking to her, if you're kind of like this, you're leaning back and you're sideways, it's kind of showing that you're not full on, you're not fully engaged. It's just you're casual. So this friend went on a date and he got to the door. Okay, do you get the point? You don't want to be too full on. And another little trick that I learned is stand a little bit too far away. Okay, there's this comfortable like distance that people like to talk from, if you can stand back just far enough, she might actually lean in and she may even step forward, in which case you're doing well. Subconsciously, in her mind, she's saying, I'm moving towards this guy, okay? You don't want it the other way around. So many guys, especially if they're nervous, what they'll do is they'll step forward, and they'll be like, so this guy, he went on a date with this girl, and they'll be nervous, and she'll like she doesn't want to be impolite. She'll kind of step back a bit. Guess what the guy's going to do? He's going to step forward because it's an unconscious thing, and he doesn't know yet because he hasn't practiced. Okay, don't want to do that. You want to be the one stepping away and have her stepping in towards you. Okay, it might be something, it might not be something. I did it, it worked. It was part of like a whole bunch of things that I had going on in my mind when I was approaching and meeting women. So those are a few tips. Put them to use. I've got so much information from past experiences that I would love to share and just get them out there. There are so many people teaching all kinds of things online, which is great. There's some phenomenal teachers, some great guys teaching great information, and I learned stuff from loads of people. David D'Angelo, his newsletters were something that I read religiously back in the day, like 2005, 2006. I used to read a lot of his information. So just giving him a shout out. The trick though, remember, is you want to feel good. You want to be happy with who you are as a person. You can see people on YouTube approaching and talking to women, being confident and the like. But realize that there's a whole back end to that person doing that approach. There's a whole load of things that they've done behind the scene to get them feeling really good. Okay, you don't know what their circumstances are. They might be earning good money. They might have a nice place to live at. They might have some very good friends. And I just want to emphasize that friendship is so very important. It's something that I didn't place a lot of value on. I'm weird, and I didn't. Like, my past story is also kind of difficult and challenging. I'll explain about that in the future. But you really want to place a priority on people, on relationships, on understanding people, on making time for people. People are your number one best asset in life. All right. You gotta have friends. You probably have a lot more friends than I do, which is a good thing. I'm happy for you. So having friends should make you feel good. You should have good friends. Have friends who are doing better than you are doing. Have friends who are not doing as well, but don't spend as much time with those friends who aren't doing as well. And when you do spend time, maybe try and encourage them or lift them up or whatever. But it's good to have good mentors and to spend time with people who are doing very well, because that will rub off on you. And thank you for watching this. It's been a long time since I last recorded a video, and I think it went quite well. I'll let you decide. Thanks. Speak to you again soon. Bye.